Okay, let's dive right into this explainer and embark on an extraordinary journey to a place that might just literally change the way you see the map. Today, we're exploring a land of staggering contrasts, ancient history, and completely untouched natural beauty. We're unpacking an incredible documentary that completely redefines a region of the world that is, quite frankly, often misunderstood. So, I want to pose this question directly to you. What is the world's most underrated country? Like, what actually comes to mind when I say that? Well, get ready, because we are about to dismantle everything you thought you knew. The answer isn't some hidden European gem or a remote island in the Pacific. It's Pakistan. We're talking about a country boasting landscapes that easily rival the most famous destinations on the planet, along with a culture that has this incredible living depth to it. To truly get a grip on this, we've got to subvert some expectations right out of the gate. We often think of ancient Egypt as the ultimate cradle of human history, right? Dating back to 3100 BCE. But Pakistan is actually home to the Indus Valley Civilization, which took root around 3300 BCE. That means the historical bedrock of this region predates ancient Egypt by over 2 centuries. This land has been nurturing human communities for a very, very long time. To make sense of a country this massive, we're going to follow a clear itinerary today. We'll be journeying geographically. So we'll start with its ancient origins as a best-kept secret, move way up into the majesty of the north, descend down from Kashmir into Punjab, and then finally explore the untamed southern frontier. Let's kick things off with Section 1, the world's best-kept secret. It's wild to trace how civilizations have layered this land over millennia. You start way back with the Indus Valley in 3300 BCE, which flows into Mohenjo-Daro by 2500 BCE. And Mohenjo-Daro was one of the very first planned cities in human history, showing just absolute urban sophistication. Then jump forward to the 1st century, where you find the Takti Bai Buddhist monastery sitting gracefully on a hilltop. Fast forward again to the 14th century, and the Makli Acropolis in Sindh emerges. Get this, it's a spiritual necropolis more than 10 times the size of the Giza Acropolis in Egypt. The whole region is practically overflowing with this rich, multi-faith heritage. All right, moving on to Section 2, the majesty of the north. This area, Gilgit-Baltistan, is quite literally considered the roof of the world. It's where the Himalayas, the Karakoram, and the Hindu Kush Mountains dramatically collide. And to really grasp the scale here, consider this staggering number: 100. That is the amount of peaks in Pakistan standing above 7,000 meters. The sheer scale is just unbelievable. And nestled right within the icy expanse of the Karakoram Range is K2, the world's second highest mountain at 8,611 meters. It's renowned for being an extreme challenge, often considered even deadlier and more demanding than Mount Everest. Now, what's really interesting about this is something called the Karakoram anomaly. While we're constantly hearing about glaciers shrinking all over the globe, these massive, vital ice flows in this specific range act completely differently than almost anywhere else on Earth. Driven by some very distinctive local climatic conditions, some of these glaciers are actually remaining stable, or, if you can believe it, they're actively advancing. They feed the rivers, like the mighty Indus, that literally sustain millions of people downstream. Amidst these giant peaks, you also find these powerful micro-stories of transformation. Take Atabad Lake. Back in 2010, a massive, devastating landslide completely blocked the Hunza River, submerging entire villages. It was a tragedy. But from that disaster, a breathtaking 21-kilometer bright turquoise lake was born. Framed by these sheer, dramatic cliffs, it has remarkably evolved into a vital economic and cultural hub for locals. It fuels tourism, serves as a crucial transportation route. It's quite literally a lifeline that was sculpted by disaster. If you really want to experience the raw power of the North, there's this thrilling, step-by-step expedition you can take. Picture this. It begins with a heart-pounding Jeep ride along a narrow dirt track clinging to sheer mountain drops. Once the Jeep absolutely can't go any further, you start trekking on foot through dense pine forests. Suddenly, the trees part and you arrive at Fairy Meadows. It's this serene plateau that local folklore claims is actually home to fairies. But for the truly adventurous, you can press on, braving the icy expanse of the Raikot Glacier to reach the base camp of Nanga Parbat, which is infamously known as the Killer Mountain. And this brilliantly illustrates the power of contrast in the region. On one hand, you've got the Katana and Sarfaranga cold deserts in Skardu. These are among the world's highest deserts at over 2,200 meters, where freezing golden dunes sit literally right beneath snow-capped peaks. And then, just a region away in Azad Kashmir, you have the Neelam Valley, a verdant paradise just bursting with lush greenery, sparkling turquoise rivers, and dense pine forests. It's night and day. Let's shift gears to Section 3, Azad Kashmir to Punjab. Descending from those rugged, icy peaks down into the fertile plains, you find a vibrant cultural scene bursting with life in Punjab, which is really the beating heart of Pakistan. It's a place absolutely alive with energy. You've got the colorful, high-flying traditions of the Basant Kite Festival. You have deeply inclusive Sufi music gatherings at Dada Darbar, which is South Asia's largest Sufi shrine. There's stunning Mughal history beautifully preserved in Lahore's Shish Mahal, the Palace of Mirrors, with its insane, intricate glasswork. And further south, you find the mystical, beautifully tiled 14th century shrines of Multan and Ut Sharif, perfectly echoing tales of ancient Persian and Central Asian artistry. What's so wild is how ancient history and stunning modernities share the exact same cultural space here. You have the 1,500-year-old Kadis Raj temples near Chakwal, which is this stunning example of ancient Hindu Shahi architecture centered around a sacred pond. Contrast that directly with the capital city of Islamabad and the Faisal Rosk. Completed in 1986, this massive modern architectural marvel was actually inspired by the shape of a Bedouin tent, and it can accommodate over 100,000 worshippers at once. The spiritual depth of this country is truly vast. Now we head to Section 4, the untamed southern frontier. Moving our explainer south toward the vast deserts of Sindh reveals these raw, dramatic landscapes of jaw-dropping scale. It feels completely otherworldly. Take the Fort Monroe Steel Bridge in the rugged Suleiman Range, stretching 1.5 kilometers across 8 interconnected bridges. Or the Khostan Desert, this sweeping golden expanse covering a massive 26,000 square kilometers, hiding ancient desert trade routes and fortresses like Darawar. And perhaps the most mysterious of all is Ranakot Fort, often called the Great Wall of Sindh. Its rugged walls wind through the landscape for nearly 32 kilometers, and historians are actually still debating its exact original purpose today. So the crucial point here is that Balochistan, Pakistan's largest province, genuinely feels like another planet. You have the historic deep-water Gwadar port sitting right on the pristine Arabian Sea coastline. From there, you can drive the 650-kilometer Makran Coastal Highway, where dramatic cliffs just abruptly meet these huge arid expanses. You'll encounter bizarre, striking natural formations, like the Princess of Hope, which was sculpted entirely by centuries of ocean wind. And in Hingal National Park, you'll find the massive Chandragut mud volcanoes. They're both geological marvels and sacred spiritual sites. Which brings us to our final stop, Section 5, a world yet unexplored. As we summarize the sheer geographical diversity and the profound cultural depth we've just uncovered, it becomes crystal clear why this is the world's best-kept secret. The documentary beautifully concludes by honoring the country with these translated words from the famous Pakistani poet Allama Iqbal. Beyond the stars are worlds yet to be explored. This vast expanse is brimming with life's embrace, where countless journeys begin their endless chase. It's such an inspiring challenge, isn't it? It pushes all of us to look beyond our usual maps and our standard perspectives. So, I want to leave you with this final, provocative thought based on everything we've just seen together today. When you look out at the world and all its hidden wonders, will you cross the threshold and explore the extraordinary? Think about it. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time on This Explainer.